ago, Nevada voted in favor of legalizing recreational marijuana use during the 2016 elections. But there are still a lot of unanswered questions about how exactly this will work.
Absolutely. Luckily, we have one of Las Vegas's top criminal defense attorneys here in studio to shed some light on the subject. Michael Becker is with the Las Vegas Defense Group and joins us now with more. How are you, Michael?
Great.
Hey, Michael.
Good morning.
So let's talk about this. I'm not asking for me, for a friend. When can people start possessing legal marijuana for recreational purposes in the state of Nevada?
Well, for people that are 21 years old and older, they can actually now legally possess.
As of now?
That's correct. Okay. Up to 1 ounce of marijuana or up to 1/8 of concentrated cannabis.
Gotcha.
So we're on a bit of a delay here because, as I understand, the state legislature has to put in a whole bunch of laws about how this will be taxed, how it will be regulated, and we're waiting on that.
That's correct. And basically what's happened is we now have medical marijuana dispensaries in the state of Nevada.
Yeah.
And they're going to allow the medical marijuana dispensaries to sell retail to the public, but they have to implement processes on how to tax it, how to regulate it. And in essence, they have until January 1st, 2018 to do that. Okay. Although the hope is that everything will be implemented by July 1st of this year.
There we go. This isn't going to be sold at every convenience, corner drugstore situation, is it?
No, right now it's going to be highly regulated.
Gotcha.
So it's going to start off, you're going to have to buy it from a dispensary, and there will be about 18 months after the first sales go into effect recreationally, they're going to allow other establishments to come in and compete for those licenses.
The more you look around, though, the more you'll see there's a lot of dispensaries. There's one that just popped up on Blue Diamond. I'm like, oh, wow, that used to be a pool store. Okay, well, they're everywhere.
It's so interesting because it's a whole shift, not only culturally but also commercially.
Yeah.
So you and I both came from California, and as you know, there are a lot of dispensaries. It's sort of like now it becomes like a liquor store.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
In the neighborhood. But it's for marijuana. So interesting.
Well, I think Nevada is trying to learn from some of the mistakes made in California, where it wasn't as highly regulated, and then you would end up with a marijuana dispensary on every corner, which they don't want to happen in Nevada. They want it to be more highly regulated. They want to make sure they limit the number of dispensaries so that the public can be served, but also communities aren't overrun by medical or marijuana establishments.
Of course. Of course, though, this doesn't come without confusion, because while it is state legalized, it is federally still incredibly illegal. How does this work? Can you still be busted for having marijuana despite it being legal in the state by a federal level?
I mean, technically the answer is yes, although the reality is I don't think that the federal government has much interest into stepping into this. Right now you have 28 states that allow medical marijuana, and you have 8 states that allow recreational marijuana, and even the president, who can set the agenda with the federal government, I don't really think he wants to take it on, although there have been statements from the Trump administration that they're going to take a look at it and they may take a different stance. I guess everyone wait and see what's going to happen there.
Interesting.
Speaking of those questions and the confusion, okay, so it becomes legal recreationally. What about in the workplace? What about being tested for drugs in the workplace? Is that going to change things?
It's not really going to change things. I mean, one might assume that over time people will have a liberalized attitude about marijuana now that it's legal, but it really is going to be up to an employer. An employer can still test employees, and an employer can still have their own policies. Nevada is an at-will work state, so if an employer says, I don't want employees using marijuana, then an employer cannot hire people that use marijuana and or could fire an employee for testing positive.
Very interesting. Sorry, JJ. There's a family court. This is made as a point in family court as well, when they're fighting over having who gets the child or for how long, or visitation rights. Can marijuana still be used as a point in family court?
It can be, but I think the way it should be looked at is kind of similar to alcohol. In other words, the state of Nevada now says you can use marijuana for medicinal purposes and also recreationally. So a judge is going to be tasked with deciding ultimately what is in the best interest of the child. So in a contentious divorce, a parent may say, well, this person is using marijuana. I think the question really is going to be more about use versus
abuse.
abuse.
Yeah.
And if there's abuse and if there's reason to believe that a child might be negatively impacted, then a judge could make orders against a parent who the court feels is abusing marijuana. But hopefully the court will not treat use of marijuana as a handicap in a family law proceeding.
Interesting. Michael, so many questions people might have about this. At your firm, you offer free consultations on this matter?
That's correct. I mean, we handle criminal offenses. We handle other practice areas as well. But if anyone has questions about this issue, you're certainly welcome to come in, and we give free consultations, whether you're facing criminal charges or any charges or not.
Awesome.
Right.
It's great having you.
Thank you so
Ironically,
much.
clearing the air. Yeah, go figure.
Oh,
Ironic
nice.
is smoking.
Nice. I like that. No, it was good.
Sorry. Let that one hang out there
It's
for a second.
Friday.
Yes.
Las Vegas Defense Group is located on Sahara, right next to Rancho. To find out more about the firm, call 702-DEFENSE or visit 702defense.com. Las Vegas Defense Group is a proud sponsor of the Morning Blend.